As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I am joining Shobhit University. What about you?
Very good morning to all the participants from India and abroad. Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, Digital University and its Centers of Excellence. Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Applications, in association with the African Asian Rural Development Organization, ARDO, New Delhi, organize this weekly international webinar series on open source digital technology towards self-reliant India. Atmanirbhar Bharat. Today is 21st August 2021. On behalf of the Honorable Chancellor, His Excellency, the Secretary General, ARDO, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the faculty members of the university, and on my behalf and as Professor Emeritus and Chairman of Centers of Excellence, Center for Agriculture Informatics and Research Studies, Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications, and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Applications, and Center for Health Informatics and Computing. Let me welcome our guest speaker of today's webinar, Mr. Subbarayan Venkatesh Babu, MD and CEO of Glosap Consulting Group Singapore, and Mr. Jivan Muttupillai, Director, Glosap Consulting Private Limited, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Today's topic is Robot as a Service, leverage technology to solve enterprise challenges. Robot as a Service, leverage technology to solve enterprise challenges. I wish to inform the participants and the guest speakers that under this international webinar series, the Centers of Excellence of the university have organized 40 lectures so far, namely, open technologies to provision simple and economical IT infrastructure, a roadmap for students using free and open source software and reaching goals of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Open source software and industrial IoTs, free and open source software adopted business models, open data platform for smart digital government, technology imperative make in India for self-reliance, edge artificial intelligence, data governance for self-reliant India, digital India transforming governance and society, India's email service citizen at india.com in 22 constitutionally recognized languages, ecosystem architecture for digital transformation, education system cyber critical infrastructure, seizing opportunities in open innovation and value creation network in the digital world for self-reliant economy, ensuring food safety and compliance through technology, Digital India urgent need for semiconductor manufacturing in India, technology investment and agriculture value chain role of foreign direct investments, entrepreneurship and skill development, AI design pathways, rise of platform economy, revisiting value chain governance, the era of automation, industrial robotics, and industry 4.0 into a German perspective of technology transfer, skill gap analysis and opportunities, role of artificial intelligence in healthcare, current developments in diagnosis and vaccine research, role of artificial, digital agri-tech and agri-startup perspective, health informatics, network value chain, e-health system and beyond, Leveraging emerging technology for ensuring transparent and traceable agri and food supply chains. Unleash the power of citizen development for enterprise software development. E-governance model towards sustained quality service to citizen factor by technology. Indian MSMEs to adopt Industry 4.0 technology capabilities. Urgent need for mentorship and accelerator program. Building public digital platform using microservices and APIs. Health informatics network value chain, early childhood development and learning. Health informatics network value chain, clinical AI, interface between machine learning and health informatics. Health informatics network value chain, importance of social medicine and community health in the times of health emergency. G-filter, simple, low-cost solution to drinking water treatment in rural India. Gravity filter, open source government setup startups empowering growth with automation. Digital transformation in small enterprises and small businesses of India, challenges and opportunities. Digital transformation in small enterprises and small businesses of India, challenges and opportunities. National Digital Twin Program. Need for a robust geospatial infrastructure. Industry 4.0 in MSMEs. Benefits of indigenously developed collab CAD of National Informatics Center. Mass serialization and anti-counterfeiting solutions to fight illicit trade. Cyber security, risk, challenges and solutions. Intelligence approach to reduce the cyber risk. New Internet IPv6 root server toward Atmanirbhar Connected Bharat. Indian startups, reflections and policy interventions, possible policy interventions needed for scaling up to Gram Panchayat. Indian startups, reflections and possible policy intervention needed for scaling up to Gram Panchayat. Blockchain and crypto for digital assets platform, pathways for global trade. Today is the 41st edition of this very important webinar series. We'll have a talk by our guest speaker, Mr. Subbarayan Venkatesh Babu, MD and CEO of Glosap Consulting Group, Singapore, and Mr. Jivan Muttupillai, Director Glosap Consulting Private Limited, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. On the topic, Robot as a Service, RaaS, leverage technology to solve enterprise challenges. Dear participants, please see the keyword in this title, robot as a service. Some lectures you can also see the robotics as a service. Leverage technology. You have to leverage technology. You need to understand. You have to meet enterprise challenge. They call it as a solution. Leverage technology to to solve enterprise challenges. And Atmanirbhar Bharat, the road ahead. It is the vision of our Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, of making India a self-reliant nation, rested on 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovation, rested on based on 5 pillars, namely economic, quantum incremental, infrastructure, one that represents modern India, systems, 21st century technology driven, vibrant demography, sources of energy for self-reliant India, demand, whereby the strength and our demand and supply chain should be utilized to full capacity. Today's talk will represent, direct, and it will be based on these 5 pillars of the Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India. This was announced on 15th May 2020 by the central government through a special and comprehensive economic package of rupees 20 lakh crore that accounts for 10% of India's GDP to bring the economy back on track. Really, in fact, India's economy is back on track. Vocal for local to make it for global. Make in India, make for India, and make for global. The reforms announced have been systematic, planned, integrated, interconnected, and futuristic for creating strong enterprises, generating employment, and robust supply chain. This is our intent. Let's quote the recent announcement from the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, the Honorable Union Minister of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Piyush Goyal. He said that intellectual property rights is very important to achieve design in India. India should become a design hub of the world. And central government is going to impart training and awareness to 10 lakh students on IPR matters in this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav from 15th August 2021 to 15th August 2022. And India can be innovation powerhouse of the world. It has to be powered by intellectual property. India will become a design hub of the world. And India has a national IPR policy titled Creative India, Innovative India. Building the innovation engine through design thinking process. There are 3 levels of innovation: product and service level, business level, and management level. Today's talk is very important to understand and achieve the 3 levels of innovation at the product and service level, at the business level, and at the management level. Without building an integrated innovation system, all innovation efforts are bound to meet with failure or partial success. Digital India program aims to transform India into a knowledge-based economy and a digitally empowered society. On 20th February 2019, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology published a report titled India's $1 trillion Digital Opportunity in collaboration with McKinsey and Company. The report identified 30 digital themes. If scaled up nationally, can accelerate India's progress in 9 key areas. Robotic as a process, this technology has to leverage in this 30 digital theme in order to accelerate India's progress in 19 key areas. Digital world, the rise of platform economy, it is the tendency for commerce to increasingly move towards and favor digital platform business model. The platform economy provides an opportunity for SMEs and startups. Evolving digital economy is closely associated with several frontier technologies and fueled by data. Which are the technologies? Blockchain, data analytics, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, Internet of Things, automation and robotics, and cloud computing. But there are another school of thought on digital transformation technologies, which are all the technologies which are part and parcel to undertake or to achieve digital transformation. These technologies are called the digital transformation technology, cloud computing, mobile phones, IoT platforms, social media, GPS, advanced human-computer interaction, user data collection, analysis of big data and advanced algorithm, smart sensors, 3D printing, authentication, and inclusion detection. Robot as a service leverage technology to solve enterprise challenges. We are known to the terminologies, the technologies, the methods, software as a service, SaaS, platform as a service, SaaS, and infrastructure as a service, IaaS. Got a jump start and were already being implemented throughout the world. As more and more business are moving towards a complete digital transformation. Newer technologies such as automation, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, and robotics are used for better process efficiency to address the growing business. According to a research conducted by IDC, robotics as a technology has reached the tipping point, and the robotic process continues to expand with increasing investment in robot development, which drives competition and helps to bring down the cost associated with the robots. Terminologies associated with this process, on which today's presentation will have from the talk of our guest speaker: artificial intelligence, robotic process automation, digital workforce, robot as a service, RaaS. This allows a company to have the benefits of robotic process automation by leasing robotic devices and accessing a cloud-based subscription service, flexible price-based on volume of the transaction. Digitalization is the process of converting manual operations to digitally enabled workflows for productivity gains. Industry 4.0, digitalization of vertical and horizontal value chain, automation, and integration by implementing various technological concepts such as cyber physical systems, Internet of Things, smart factory, which enable the environment and the business side. Digital business automation is fueled by robotic process automation, the new wave of future of technologies. Robotic process automation is according to the Wikipedia, an internet bot. It's also known as web robot or simply bot is a software application that runs automated tasks over internet and is an innovative use of software to perform repetitive rule-based knowledge work across an organization or as a substitute for or aid to human workers. These robots are called virtual workers. How robotic process automation affecting the way we work? It is by 2025, 25% of the jobs should be robotized or will be robotized. And this is fueled by the COVID-19 situations, because COVID-19 pandemic situation has facilitated in a positive manner to work from home, and it is facilitating also home, and small scale enterprise. India has got about something like 63 million small and medium enterprises, SMEs, and through this process, robotic as a process, robotic process automation, and I strongly feel that 63 million small, SMEs units in India can be automated, can be digitally transformed. They can undertake digital transformation, and they can be a globalized partner, and they will become the part of Atmanirbhar Bharat, in the digitalized world, to undertake open innovation and value creation network. Workforce of the future is human plus digital worker. Future digital workforce is the robotic process automation. Is a robotic process automation is the discipline of optimizing workflows with intelligent software, which will play a crucial role in digital workplace. Being an agile enterprise means operating a seamless mix of digital workers, human workers, and systems dynamically automating process everywhere from the back office to the customer experience. This we call it as Industry 5.0. Digital technologies have penetrated nearly every industry and market on the planet. In order to take advantage of this change in the business landscape, executives are seeking to enact digital transformation that integrate cutting-edge technologies into their company. And Digital workforce is an adaptable team of software robots that works together in cooperation with human employees to accomplish a repeated process. I would like to quote from the, our one of the webinar which is held on 19th June 2021, addressed by Mr. R.K. Jayabalan, on the topic digital transformation of small entrepreneurs and small business in India, challenges and opportunities. This is being published as a technical paper, authored by Sri R.K. Jayabalan, Debamale Vedanti Arachi, and Moni Madaswamy. And in this one, it has been discussed and it has been, echoed that with respect to SMBs, small and medium businesses, what are the stakeholders' points of view which are relevant for robotic process automation? Organizational management is largely influenced by the opinions and perspective of internal and external stakeholders. In the absence of skilled and motivated stakeholders, the problem seems to be highly tremendous. SMPs, that is, the small and medium businesses, face several challenges of varying magnitude regularly. The stakeholders expect faster and better services from small and medium businesses, and they have different expectations and categorized as follows. Dear participants, and also to our guest speaker, I would like to read out these 6 categories. Consumer want faster, better, and high value goods and services. Supplier wants faster payment and better response from SMEs. Regulatory agencies want faster compliance and better accurate inputs. Employees want faster accomplishments and better productivity. Competitors says their position is, will I lose my better position faster? And management, digital transformation means faster and better. These are the stakeholders around the small and medium businesses. See, unless in the digital world, the small and medium businesses and small and medium entrepreneurs undertake the digital transformation, meeting the stakeholders' expectation. For them, everything should be faster, better, and better, faster. They're all superlative degrees. So this has to be achieved. So with this background, let us now turn to the address by our guest speakers. Mr. Jivan Muttupillai, Director, Glosap Consulting Private Limited, Kuala Lumpur, and Mr. Subbarayan, Venkatesh, Babu, Managing Director, CEO of Glosap Consulting Group, Singapore, on the topic Robot as a Service, Leverage Technology to Solve Enterprise Challenges. This topic, I strongly feel, will motivate and galvanize the participants watching over telecast through facebook.com/Soviet University India or youtube.com Soviet University or linkedin.com/company/Soviet-University for motivating them to digitalize 63 million MSMEs as smart MSMEs, and also Khadi and village industries. And India has got about something like 33,500 urban clusters of SMEs and 18,000 rural clusters of SMEs and lakhs of KVIs, Khadi and village industries. Startups to digital, this will harness the power of transformers, technologies, and capital to establish startups to digitalize this 63 million MSMEs, the startups to digitalize more than 400 agriculture commodities value chain, and startups to become APIs in the ongoing health informatics network value chain in the country. 3 areas I mentioned: agriculture, 400 agriculture commodity value chain, 1,400 farmers involved in agriculture, production. 400 agriculture commodity value chain. India is the only country which has got 365 days of sunshine. 127, more than 127 agroclimatic zones. So throughout the year we produce agriculture, produces. So we have to automate, and digital technology in agriculture is highly recommended in the Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 Committee Report 2018. I was associated as a chairman for 2 subcommittees. It has come out as volume 11 and volume 12B. Volume 12B talks about digital technology in agriculture. Chapter 7, 8, 9, 10. Chapter 10 talks about the recommendation of 7 mission mode projects for digitalization of agriculture. One is that automation, digitalized agriculture value system for 400 agriculture commodities. So in India, we have to automate through robotic process automation, about 63 million MSMEs and 14 crore operational holdings where agricultural crops are being produced, livestock economy, fisheries economy, and established startups, to become APIs in the ongoing health informatics network value chain, human health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, and fishery health. It's very important. And with this, I introduce our guest speakers to the participants. Mr. Manish, can you display the profile of Mr. Jivan Muttupillai? Mr. Jivan Muttupillai is the director of Glosap Consulting Private Limited, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and he was the former executive director of Management Consulting KPMG Malaysia. He was worked with KPMG Malaysia for 20 years. He has got vast experience and good knowledge management consulting and technology enablement in public, private sector, manufacturing, and F&B and banking industry. He has vast experience in the areas of business transformation, process and operational improvement, project program management, change management, IT governance, IT assessment and strategy, system selection and evaluation, and system implementation. As a passionate to help businesses to transform for innovation, worked with the legendary and one of the oldest PM in the world. Glosap Consulting Group has innovations in the field of Industry 4.0, IoT, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, and it is a leading SAP HANA value-added reseller and service partner. Glosap has more than 15 years of experience in implementation of various SAP solutions and services for small and medium enterprises and a large-scale global enterprises. And with this introduction, I will request Mr. Jivan Muttupillai to address the international webinar series on open source digital technology for self-reliant India Atmanirbhar Bharat on the topic Robotic as a process. Leverage technology to solve enterprises challenges. And then after his talk, I will invite Mr. Venkatesh Babu, CEO of Glosap Consulting Group, Singapore. Over to Mr. Jivan Muttupillai.
Thank you, Professor Moni, and the organizers. It's a great privilege and my pleasure to be part of this team today. Namaste, Vanakkam, very good morning and afternoon to all the viewers. As Professor Moni briefed about my background and experiences, I'm very much happy to share some of the experiences that I gained during my KPMG days as a management consulting or management consultant, and now I'm actually part of the leadership team of Glosap Group, and I'm based in Malaysia. Okay, I'm quite sure. I think in current pandemic, our current life and the way how we work is actually has a major impact. We have about 360-degree change in our way of life, regardless whether we work from home, meeting up with people, our social economy, and everything has some impact to the pandemic. As everyone said, I like this. One of my favorite phrase. Whenever there is a crisis, there is a big vacuum or opportunity, and that is the way how you identify that opportunity and transform an organization. So similarly, in Glosap, we have identified. We were quite lucky enough. More than 4 years ago, we already started our journey in artificial intelligence and robotic automation process. And true enough, during the pandemic, we see that major help how this pandemic actually helped organization embarking on digital workforce, and how the digital workforce be part of the entire organization and runs the entire business. So today I would like to share on how RPA, or there is another term called digital workforce, and what is the future in digital workforce, and how robots plays a very crucial role in our daily life. Okay. Next, Babu.
Yes, yeah. Already put the screen. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you run the slides?
Yes, yeah. The
Okay.
slide is on. Yeah. You can go ahead.
Yeah. Next slide, please. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. As I mentioned, our way of life now different, and when we work from home, and there are a lot of things that you have to work under the limitation, where you may not able to meet people face to face. You may not have physical presence to acknowledge some of your the operational of work. But having said that, this change has impacted tremendously across global on the way how business has been operated. And the digital workforce, it actually complements, and we call it as a hybrid solution, where organizations are actually embarking on this digital journey, and the robots actually work hand in hand with human to execute some daily or operational work. Okay, so when you are at home and you are limited with some resources and infrastructure, but the robots actually helps you to run your daily life. Yeah, we have some good demo later. We will show you how these RPA, or the robot as a cloud services, how it can actually works. Next. Okay, as I mentioned, there are a lot of obviously there's a lot of fear on whether robot is going to replace human work, and how accuracy the robot can work compared to human. But the most important message that I want to send across here, robots actually complement our daily work, and robots with some intelligence and machine learning, and robots actually execute some particular operational tasks very effectively manner, and is the same way how human how a human run their operational business as usual. So the robot mimics the actual work of a human. Next. Okay, how that benefit the companies and also the workforce. If you take average on daily life, every business transaction, every operational work of the entire organization, there are a lot of manual oriented, a lot of repetitive work, a lot of work that required very mundane task. That means every day you do the same operational work. And when you implement this digital workforce, the robot actually takes care a lot of that burden, and behind the scene, the robot execute that particular work. So therefore, human can focus on their daily work with more intelligent or more strategic role, and they can spend more of their time in making a very good planning and execution of that plan. Next. So as I mentioned, the combination of AI and the robot for the automation, it helps the entire repetitive task. It actually creates a new, less labor-intensive environment, where in the past you really have to have people on, in the office entertaining, for example, entertaining customers walking in, and maybe having a face-to-face conversation. But today, those processes are actually overtaken by the robots. So when you call to any of the organizations who have implemented this digital workforce, basically robots handle the first query, and followed by answering back and all that, until there is a certain stage where the robot will hand over that particular task to a real human. Okay. And this robot always can be implemented across the department, regardless of finance, HR, or sales, or in manufacturing environment, and so forth. Next. So the robot consists of two types. One is the robot actually works in the front office, and the other robots is actually work on the back office. The front office robot is similar to when you walk into a customer service center and you do some inquiry on sales or product details. The robot, when the customer service officer responds to you, similar manner, the robots actually interact with all those questions. So there are many ways to present this robot. With AI and virtual reality, we can bring it up as a real human experience, and you won't have a difference whether you're talking to a human or you're talking to a robot. Whereas on the other side, the back office robot actually execute the daily operational work, how a HR person conduct an interview, or going through an CVs, or doing a job placement. Similarly, finance department, those who are actually involved in entering data of information to the finance system, such as invoices, or procurement inventories, and so forth. All this process today is replaced and run by the robot. So the next question is, what human is going to do when this robot take over, right? Next. Okay. Similar, I have actually given some of the example just now. I give you a similar example where purchase order has been received, and we need to key in into the any ERP system, or it can be an Excel based system as well. So those kind of data entry is required. So assuming if an organization, MNC or SMEs, they have thousands or hundreds of such data entry activities or document receive, and that requires human intervention. Human have to do that, and when a human execute that particular task, you are prone to have some errors. Whereas when this robot read the document and key in into the system on behalf of the human, it is actually errorless. Yeah, there's no error on that. Yeah, next.
Yeah, Jivan, I think I need to take a control.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, we can have some demo now, Babu.
Yes, yeah.
I will introduce Mr. Subbarayan Venkatesh Babu.
Yes, sir.
To the participants.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Jivan Muttupillai, for setting the stage for the discussions today. And Mr. Subbarayan Venkatesh Babu is the Managing Director and CEO of Glosap Consulting Group of Companies, Singapore. Mr. Manish, can you display his profile? And he is also the Managing Director of Indian Wing, the Glomatriz Technologies Private Limited, Chennai, India. Mr. Babu has BE, MBA, and PMP and certified SAP, and founder and managing director of Glosap Group of Companies, Singapore. And he has around 30 plus years of experience in engineering, pharma, chemical, and IT project management. His focus is more into strategic business management, innovative technologies, enterprise automation, and SAP program management, and delivered around 100 plus global projects to various sectors, including engineering, construction, manufacturing, pharmaceuticals, life science, electronics, commodity trading, logistics, education, and service industry. Passionate to help businesses with the technology enablement and consistently sharpening his thought for innovation. And Glosap Consulting Group has innovations in the field of Industry 4.0, IoT, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and it is a leading SAP HANA value-added reseller and service partner. Glosap has more than 15 years of experience in implementation of various SAP solutions and services for small and medium enterprises and large global enterprises. And I will request Mr. Venkatesh Babu to continue with your presentation.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you. Thanks, Jivan. We started with a wonderful presentation. And first of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Shobit University also. And so far, what you have seen, like Jivan talking about, what is digital employee. So Professor was talking about like virtual employee, robotic process automation, and it has multiple names, but all we call it as a digital employee. Okay, the digital employee is something like it has its own artificial intelligence, machine learning.
Welcome everyone to today's RPA demo.
All combined together, we put as a digital employee.
In this video, we will discover how the virtual robot extracts the data from scanned invoice document and process it into PO transaction in an ERP system. Here,
okay. So I'm going to run the actual deployment of the robots, because people all the way, like in fact, when we started that in 2014-15, the emerging technology came into the picture. People are talking about, something AI, robots, and digital workforce and all this. It took, even technology people like us, it took almost one year for us to know how the actual digital employee is going to work. People are talking about only the concept. That's what in 2015 we started our innovation, and finally our product out on 2016. And we thought like we want to differentiate ourselves from the other partners. So we took, because we are already an SAP partner and we did a lot of global projects. So we wanted how these robots are going to work on the SAP environment, because that's the most interesting area, because majority 90% of the industry having the enterprise application. Only the small companies, they are not having any ERP system. So the majority people suffering is those people are having the ERP solution. How do we want to put it? That's what our innovation started. And then 2016, we have done one of the biggest company, Japanese sector in Singapore. And they bought 5 different bots, one in HR, finance, operation, in fact, forecasting model, and the management reporting side. So today, what we are going to show is like, some sample cases of, basically it's a live case, how the digital workforce are working on multiple environment. Okay.
in this video, we will discover how the virtual robot extracts the data from scanned invoice document and process it into PO transaction in an ERP system. Here, the robot scans the invoice document top to bottom and extracts into an Excel sheet within few seconds. Robot logs into the ERP system with the given user credentials. In this case, the ERP system used is SAP Business One. Then it navigates into the purchase order screen and enters all the header level data required for PO. It enters all the item details like item number, description, quantity, price for each row in input Excel and saves the PO. For creating a PO with 100 line item, human may take up to 1 hour of time, but when the robot is deployed for the same, it can complete the work within a minute. In this video, we will discover how the virtual robot processes the service request and incidents report for 12 business units for every month. Robot downloads the master Excel file from the web portal and separates into 12 individual files for 12 business units. It applies the formula with current month value to compute the data and update the same value in the bar charts for different service and incidents occurred during the month. Then it calculates the KPI value with the unique formula and calculation methods for 12 business units for the service and incidents and compare it with the last 3-month data. Once Excel work is done, robot opens the PowerPoint for updating the current month service report. It updates the PPT template with all the current month value and specific business unit name in it. All the KPI reports, overview reports, service requests, and incident graphs are copied from the Excel to PPT. It not only copies the tables and graphs, but the perfect alignment is also made for each and every slides. At the right side of the slide, you can see the height, width, horizontal position, vertical position of each and every table has been aligned automatically by the virtual robot. Once PPT is done, it updates the tracker sheet stating that Excel and PPT reports has been successfully created. Once PPT is done, it sends the completion mail to the business unit owner every month. Thank you.
Okay, so far you have seen 2 demos. The first one is like some sort of a order entry system. So imagine like 150 line items. If some human sitting and doing, it will take roughly around 1 to 1.5 hours. But the digital workforce is doing the same entry within less than a minute. So you see the amount of the time saving. So typically the companies are looking for the productivity improvement. The productivity improvement without affecting their day-to-day activities. That's the key. So how do you want to bring the without affecting the day-to-day? So we need to adapt this type of digital workforce. This force can do like 10 times faster than humans, and it can jump into multiple system or any complex system. This type of bots can easily pull all this information, consolidate, and do the data massaging, cascading, and then give a very nice report to whatever the government sector or the different retailers they want to get their outcome of their performance. All can be done by the robot even in the midnight within few fraction of seconds. That's the essence of the first 2 videos. Now I'm going to run another video. Like what Jivan was telling, like all this video can run on all this digital can run on any industrial process, any industrial vertical, not an issue, right? It also run on the specific department also. Like the next one we are going to talk is more into the recruitment process, how the bots helping for the recruitment process, like job posting. Then after posting we need to shortlist the candidate. Okay, then we need to call them for the interview. Okay, once the interview validation is done, then we have to send the offer letter to them. So basically this is the HR assistant activities, like probably like 5 to 10 people in a big company sitting and doing these type of activities. Now see how the digital bots are handling those type of activities. Going to run the next video. Just sit and relax and watch it.
This video demonstrates how RPA bot posts the job description and other relevant requirements on the recruitment website. In this example, the bot is designed to extract the job details from an Excel sheet for demo purposes. This can also be done in any existing client HRMS system, and then it uploads it directly to any job portal or any job site. Here in this video, the bot will be uploading the job description on a job portal called Naukri.com. First, it will log in, and then it'll proceed to posting a job. Now, all the required details will be filled in, starting with job posting headline, employment type. All the details about the job description is being entered, and then key skills. The experience will be filled in, and then salary range, location, industry, the functional area, the role, the educational qualification. And once it is all done, it is being posted now. And once the bot will obtain the job ID, which is usually given by the job portals, it will log out, and then it'll update the job ID in the Excel sheet. This video shows how the RPA bot is designed to contact the selected candidates in order to invite them for the interviews. In this example, the bot is designed to extract the information from this Excel sheet, which has all the details of the shortlisted candidates. It'll log into the email account, and then we'll start writing the email to the shortlisted candidates. Now, the email content of the invitation emails will be based upon the timings that are mentioned in the Excel sheet. Each of the candidates are given at different timings when they are supposed to arrive for the interview. And all this is done by the bot. These videos are being slowed down in order to have a proper look at how the bots function usually. Now, once all the emails that are sent, you can actually go back to the sent folder, and then you can have a look at the timings which are mentioned to the shortlisted candidates. You can actually cross-check them, and then you can have a look at the email content which is sent. This video demonstrates how RPA bot executes the last step of the hiring procedure, where the hired candidates are informed. Here in this example, the bot is designed in such a way that all the hired staff will be informed about the job position that they're offered, and each candidate will be receiving an offer letter through these emails. According to the Excel sheet, There were 4 shortlisted candidates, and out of 4, 3 were hired, and their details are extracted from that particular Excel sheet, and then the content is generated based upon the details given in the Excel sheet. And each of them will be receiving an offer letter through these emails with their names on it. Each email will have a different email with the subject, with the content which is generated according to the staff details. And then the bot locates the offer letter and then attaches them to the emails. Now, once all the emails are sent, you can again check them in the sent folder, the details which are mentioned, and you can actually cross-check all the information. And then you can also check the offer letters that are attached, that each of them has a different one. For more insight or clarification, you can reach out to us. Thank you.
Okay, so far we have seen like 3 process. One is on the order entry, then second bot is helping the company for the management reporting, and the third.
This video
1 second. Yeah. Jivan, can you see my screen?
Not yet, Babu.
It's coming.
It's coming, yeah.
In this video, we will discover how the virtual robot extracts the data from scanned invoice document and process it in.
I'm just sharing the another video. Just give me a second.
and other relevant requirements on the recruitment websites. In this example, the bot is designed to extract the job details from an Excel.
This is the recruitment video.
Yeah, it's all coming out. Just give me a second. Yeah. Can you see my PowerPoint template?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So now let's go to in depth of how to identify the process which can be automated in every organization. Jivan, can you see my other screen, like the 5-factor screen?
Yeah, can.
Okay, that's fine. See, when we do the interaction with a lot of the C-level people, everybody is asking like, yeah, this product is pretty interesting, but we are not sure how to identify the process and where to do the automation. That's what our the consultancy team, they take that particular role and help the companies to identify, okay, which area can be automated, which area can be perfectly suitable for this type of digital employee adoption. So the first thing is the company should think the employee involvement. Okay, where and all, which department they are using more resources. And second thing, they have to think about what is the complexity within their business process, which means like, someone is sitting and doing the number of steps to execute particular transaction. And third one, they have more volume. Let's say like public sector companies like PUB and electricity, company, all this. Like every month, they have to take the reading and send the invoices, the statement to all the household. So the month end only, like, few million documents supposed to do the processing and send it to all these customers. So those type of volume, if people are sitting and doing, it takes very long time for them. So that's the more volume area we need to pick it up. And some companies are looking for standardization as well as the stability of their process, which means The business process are pretty straightforward, and they have certain rules. Okay, if this come in, you process this, and it is a pretty consistent. So those type of areas we can use the digital employee. And the most important, the last point is like banking sectors and then IP companies. Like they are facing some difficulties to do the outsourcing because it's a confidential data and it's a compliances requirement. They can't able to outsource or they can't give it to some third party to do the processing. So for that type of business, the digital employee is more suitable for them because this is like a physical employee. Let's say the company hiring some physical people. The employee come to the office, then they do the orientation. After that, they assign certain specific tasks to them. Let's say the person is a finance person. He is doing the account receivable. Then they create one user ID and then they put it, they tell him to, okay, how to use the particular ERP system and do the AR process. The same way, what we are doing is we bring the digital employee and we train the digital employee to mimic exactly like a humans. The difference is this digital employee you can't see physically. It is sitting either in your server or it is sitting in the cloud environment. But it is scheduled. It is scheduled like 10 o'clock. It will log in into the system and then like processing like 10 to 10:30. Let's say human sitting and doing maybe 100 transaction, but the bot the same 1 hour it can do 10,000 transaction. And 11 o'clock it log in into the HR and do certain process, and 12 o'clock go to the management report, and then 1 o'clock like that you can schedule it so one digital workforce can do multitasking. Okay, that's fine. The We know how the digital employee is working. So okay, then the next question is how secure it is. That's the typical question, like all the way, like we are addressing this particular question. And the take note, this particular digital employees does not pick up any credential of the users. It always use the privileges of the users. Let's say I'm the user, I'm assigned to the finance. My role is to do invoice processing. Then the same way the robot assigned and it can do only the invoice processing. It is not going anywhere. So whatever the privilege I am giving, it is doing within that territory itself. And second thing, it does not store any business information or data. Don't bother about it. What happened? My data will go outside and all this. 100% assured it is not going anywhere because the bots are sitting on your network and it is your employee, but not a physical employee. It is a digital employee. And it is inbuilt with the in-memory automation, and it stores only the logic, how to execute. It stores only the business logic and then certain conditions and exceptions. Exception in the sense like I'm doing processing, suddenly certain error coming, certain missing data information coming. Okay, how to process that particular one. So all this we train the digital employee and we put it. So the companies for the last 5 years globally, they started adopting this technology very vastly. But only thing is now the last 1 year itself, the traction in India happened, and a lot of companies in India already started approaching our Chennai and Hyderabad office, and they wanted to do some sort of a deployment of this type of digital workforce. And some major companies like the banking, insurance, healthcare, manufacturing, high tech, energy utilities, they already adopted this technology, and especially I think 5 or 6 major functional areas. The majority of the people using is a financial and accounting, and then procurement, HR, contact center, and industry specific application and process. One classic example for the banking sector, like the credit card, they send it to the customer, and then there is a message coming. Then they don't want the human to do the activation. It's a simple. Based on the message, the bot will go and check the validation. Everything okay, it will activate the card in the backend process. And then the fraud and then claim detection. Whatever the false claim and everything, the bot will detect. And then claim processing, new business operation, a report, timely report, and then a lot of you are having many system. You want to do some sort of a reconciliation, all possible, and then bill of material generation, service order, quality checking, account setup. The new employee come in that you want to create a new employee masters, and then payroll. Customer service, the interaction, checking the customer, the last record. I think I can name it. So every organization, almost 70% of the business process are repeated tasks. The idea behind all the digital employee is why we need a human to sit and do those type of transactions. Can we leave it to the digital? So 70% of the organization, which is a huge figure. Let's say I'm having 100 people in my operation, in my office, doing the data entry. The potentially I need only 30%. So the 70% of the work done by the humans can be replaced by the digital workforce. It is our call how fast we want to change it. And these are the certain process, like which we already did for many big companies. Like the typical process is a procure to pay and order to cash. And within procure to pay, like you can see the below list of like purchase order entry, vendor verification, vendor master, receipt, three-way matching. So more than like 15 to 20 activities can be done by the bot. Same way account receivable, general accounting, treasury, and then compliances. The most important is the compliances, and then the financial planning and analysis and reporting. For analysis, the parameter missing is like we have data everywhere, we have data, but from the data we need to get the insights. Data without insight is no use. So you need to get the insights. So if you need to get the insight from the data, you need to have what happened my yesterday production, or let's say I want to get the production efficiency. I want to know I got the today's information, but I want to know comparatively yesterday whether I'm up or down. So I need the past data, maybe yesterday information or the last month or last year. Okay, so fetching all this old data with the real-time current data and do some sort of analytical and give nice presentation for the CEOs or CFO or whoever the bosses they want to know by looking on the figure itself. You need a real-time the digital workforce. Otherwise, people can do, but it takes very long. Maybe they give some postmortem report. The boss asks like today, maybe it takes 4 hours, or next day they will give it. But these bots can do everything within seconds and fetch that information, do the cascading, do the massaging of the data, and publish it in the nice format, whatever we are looking for. Okay, so now we know what is bot and how it is helping us. Now, how the digital employee can be deployed to the organization. So there is a strategy. What is a strategy? Okay. So initially the company has to identify some stakeholders, and then we need to know that who are all the stakeholders for individual departments. Let's say finance, there may be some person, procurement, some person. Okay. And then our consultant will talk to them and we come up with the design and we do some sort of a piloting for them. We won't tell them like go and start with 50 employees, 100 employees at one shot. This is our protocol. We go and tell them, okay, let's do the piloting for you. We identify some areas where the digital workforce can be deployed. Okay, now we need to choose the solution. Okay, let's say you talk about procurement. Yes, definitely you have like 50 people working in procurement. So there is a 30 different process. Okay, within the 30 process, which process are completely autonomous process? Okay, so that assessment we will be talking to the people and we identify the best fitted solution for the automation. After that, we also try to see is there any optimization possible within that particular process. Okay, and then we deploy our solution and then we monitor continuously what is the benefit coming out. Ultimately, the company has to get a cost reduction, productivity, efficiency improvement. That's the thing. That's the key. Like all the bosses are looking for, the companies are looking for. I'm bleeding because pre and post COVID, a lot of bosses feel the companies are bleeding. Financially problem, operation problem, resources not turning into the office in time, and they say working from home, but the productivity is not there. I'm suffering a lot. I don't know how to run my operation effectively for the upcoming years. This is a solution for you. Don't get panic. Think about it. The dependency on the humans should be minimized moving forward. We need to put a lot of automation. If you are not put automation today, your competitor will put the same digital solution tomorrow. So tomorrow you are going to lose your competitiveness. So think about it, how you need to do the digital automation journey right now. And by the years of experience, we already come up with the strategy. Like these are the 10 steps concept that we always go and tell the customers, okay, we work with you as a partner. We are not just like a vendors. We are your partners. Okay. We help you to catch your hand and walk all the way to the digitalization process. Okay. And these are the 10 points. Initially, we see the end-to-end overview, and we always look on the process centric, not activity based. And we identify the process, and we also tell the people there is a change management, because all the way you are working with the humans. Now there is one more invisible person is going to work along with your organization, maybe your colleague. Okay. So we need to see like what type of changes you need to adapt to make a relationship with this type of digital workforce. And then we can see what is the performance, and we see how the scheduling functionality of the different bots, and we also ensure what is the security, of access credential and sorts, that segregation of duty and suburban auxiliary SOX compliances. And because sometimes the auditor will come in, they will ask you who has created that particular transaction. You should know, like, yes, this is the RB1. RB1 is my robot which is helping for my finance. HR1 is my digital employee. This employee has done the transaction for this type of recruitment process. So there is an audit trail is important. So we always ensure the compliances and audit trail, everything is all in place. Okay, by adapting all this, what benefit the companies are going to get? Yes, I know, like, you are talking, but what is the benefit I'm going to get? The first benefit is these bots are running 24 by 7, 365 days. Take note that physical employee can work for maximum 8 hours, but we all know like what exactly the productivity out of 8 hours, probably 4 to 7 hours, depends on the person is dedicated to the company. Okay, but here the bot running 24 by 7, so which means it is times 3 already. And then customer satisfaction, customer, there is a error, the lot of error previously happened, now there won't be any error, and faster and reliable services. And coming to the company analytics purpose, you are getting a quality data, and the data giving the insight, perfect insight you are getting for your decision making. And then overall benefit, my business result is getting improved. My wage cost, later on the next slide, I will tell you how the cost is getting benefited for the company. And then HR feel like, okay, the brand is getting boosted because I'm giving timely response to my people. That's the most important, right? Why the companies are going down, because their service is very bad over a period of time. It could be the people not responding timely. But here, the digital employee, based on the algorithm and logics it is running, so it consistently gives the same progress and performance. And then compliances. We don't want to run behind all the government sectors like, I missed this payment, don't put this penalty, that penalty, everything. Timely reminders will be there. Even the filing of all your like GST or RN, whatever the thing, everything can be done timely by the digital employee. And most important is there won't be any fraud. Okay. On top of it, other benefits are this is the low risk, non invasive technology. No harm at all. Okay. Because the company, let's say I'm running 10 digital bots. Today, I don't want to run, maybe some specific task. I can stop it. I can call my admin, tell them, okay, this finance robot, can you stop it? I want to do the auditing today. Okay, you can stop it. Anytime you want to change the bot into different process, or you want to add, maybe I want to change my logic got changed, I want to add some more field. It's very user friendly. Is some sort of a drag and drop type. You can just open up either with your technology people, or you can come back. Our 24 by 7 support team will support you to do any changes. And then the process is more acute, consistent, consistent. Once the programs are fixed, there won't be any change at all. The minimum saving potential is around 20 to 35%, but some company reach maximum up to 80%. And you can run this one into all the cross companies, and naturally the productivity will increase more, and it's a scalable solution. We tell all the companies start with the minimum 2 or 3 digital workforce, and you see how the performance for 6 months, and then we start phase 2. Okay, now this time you identify another 5 to 10 process, and third phase we can plan for 50 to 100. It's all depends on the size of the companies. And then it's a lower TCO and cost saving up to 80%, time saving is up to 80%, and it's assured intelligence and quality improvement and incremental benefit. The incremental benefit in the sense the first year you are going to pay the robotic license plus the consulting charges from our company. The next year you are not paying any consulting charges. You are paying only the robotic, the license cost only, because it's a subscription charges. So incremental benefit. The first year you are getting 40% cost saving. Second year become maybe 70 to 80%. Subsequent year you are going to get more benefit. Okay, this is one of the classic example. The left side you can see there is a current. The current is the human is doing that particular transaction, basically fetching the SAP instruction and then putting into the Excel and then sorting out, do the grouping and all this. We did the business optimization for this particular multinational company, and we told them if you are going with the bots, the bot can do certain optimization within your process. So we come up with the to be document. Okay, this is one of the complicated case study for us, because the bot supposed to pick up 3 business unit information, and there is a multiple permutation combination. Okay, I show you some design document later on if I have time, and the customer will be feeding 31 different inputs, and the bot has to behave differently for each and every input, and then it's a very complex scheduling task. Okay, so all this the bot completed nicely, and you see the bottom, the ROI. There you can see that there is estimated time. Previously, the human did the same task. It took almost 20 minutes. When the bot did, it took around 3 minutes. Earlier, there were 30 people were sitting in that particular department. They were doing the transaction. After the bot deploy, they moved 10 people to the other department. So just take an example in Singapore or Malaysia, the cost of one resources is a normal accounting resource is $5,000. Like 10 people is like 10 times into 5,000 is 50,000. So 50,000 times 12 is like $600,000. So 3 years became like 1.8 to $2 million cost reduction by adopting one digital workforce in one process alone. So if the company is putting 10 digital bots, imagine times 10, which means like close to $20 million, they are getting savings for the next 3 years only on the direct benefit of the manpower cost. Another one which is not measurable is the intangible benefit, which is like fast, reliable, accurate. And then because it is not giving any error, so the support team supporting this particular operation also getting reduced. Okay, so many ways you are getting direct as well as the indirect benefit. Okay, now we are going to talk about the product. So we have multiple products. The top 3 products on the digital workforce side we are putting. The first one is a robotic as a service. And robotic as a service, why we want to bring this as a service? We talk to many MSME companies. Like the last 4 years, we spoke to more than 3,000 CEOs. Every bi-weekly, we are conducting a webinar and giving awareness to the people. Please take note of it. Don't delay further. This is the right time to think about it. Even before COVID also, we were talking the same thing. And now this adoption started increasing. So, but major MSME people are coming. They are telling like, yes, I love this product. I want to deploy, but I don't have any capital expenditure to spend the money. It's not very expensive. But I'm telling, like, the cost wise, I'm telling it's not very expensive in India. And not only India, globally, it's very, very simple. But still, they feel like, okay, if I bought, I want to deploy I don't have the budget for it. I didn't put the capital expenditure for this year. Okay, fine. So we have the RaaS concept, which means like we give you robotic as a service, which means zero cost. You just agree, we identify the process, you just give an agreement with us for certain period of time. We do everything for you. We study the process, we develop the business logic for you, we develop a digital workforce for you, and we come and deploy this workforce on your office in within your network. Or if you are running certain application in cloud, Amazon or Azure, we are global partners, so we can also put it there. And then we schedule it. Okay, so this digital employee is for finance. Okay, it has to create a invoices, or maybe my dunning notice, or my payment follow up, whatever the process. So everything is hosted, and every is going on real time, or maybe scheduled a task. It automatically go and do the transaction, and once the transaction completed, it will open up your timesheet. And every 1 hour, let's say 10 o'clock, I log in into this, and then I completed 200 invoices, and then 12 o'clock I completed 300. So it keep tracking all their own timesheet. Okay, end of the month, the bot itself will send a timesheet to us and CC copy to their finance team. So let's say 5 digital employees deploy, 5 people will send their timesheet to us and copy to their finance also. So we have a slab. We say like starting like per transaction, maybe like 5 cent or 10 cent, depends on the volume. We have different slabs. So based on the workforce, whatever the transaction completed, we send a invoice to them. So basically, we are mitigating the capex into the opex, which means the capital expenditure shifted into their operation expenses. The next slide is talking about more on it. The second solution we provide is on the rental basis. This is concept is same. We deploy the digital workforce to your office, but we are not charging upfront. But it's a fixed rental amount. Like each robo, we will just rent you, and then we will bill it to you based on the rental amount, whatever agree between the company. Okay, that's easy. Like I can buy 3 robots and then monthly charging some X amount, good enough. They will bill it to us. So basically, the concept is how you getting a contract employer, a contract employee. All this like the same way we are bringing the digital employee to your organization. The third is a classic way of deployment. This is where like all big companies, like the tier one companies, they started adopting. This is a classic way. Companies tell us like how many licenses, because individual bot should have one license, and we will calculate how many licenses and what is the cost of our implementation, and then cost of our the server hosting, and then what is the support services you need 24/7 or only on office time. So based on the SLA, we also give what is our supporting cost. Okay, so this is a classic way. So these are the three, the common product services available on our side. On top of it, the most of the adoption happening on the robotic as a service, because the API research already predicted in 2026 around the world around 35 billions of dollars paid to robotic service provider, the RaaS model. Okay, the main advantage is, as I already told, you no need to come up with the capital expenditure. Tomorrow you call our office, say like I want 5 digital board. Our analyst will come to your office, do the assessment, and we tell them, okay, no need upfront. Okay, but this is a contract for you. Okay, later we will convert whatever the cost, we will move it into the OPEX, operational cost. And then some enterprise wise, some people like in Singapore, all the government already started deploying like 3 4 years before. The government already approved, because government is approving certain technology in the sense they did their own intelligence. Their scientists all, they were sitting together and they did all the due diligence. After that only 50 over government ministries already using more than 5 to 10 bots in Singapore. Same way in Malaysia. In fact, Malaysia, the government running couple of our bots. But some of the SMEs, they say, I want a simple bot. Maybe the email come in, just wanted to alert or just wanted to create some order, and then delivery, pick up the delivery and do the automatic invoice and just collect the payment. Those type of small thing we can done within 10 days. And if something goes on the transaction level, it takes around 3 to 4 weeks. Iteration level, slightly bigger process, it takes 6 to 8 weeks. And customer needs some scenarios like order to cash scenarios. Okay, those type of things, it takes almost 8 to 10 weeks. Complete enterprise wise, they need some full digital. Okay, it's roughly around 6 to 8 months time for us. The advantage is this is a risk free deployment, assured intelligent and incremental benefit, and the company can get substantial cost reduction. I will tell you the next slide how the cost reduction. Why the people need to go for digital employee? The first thing already told, this can work for 24/7, 365 days and non-stop. And you can easily eliminate all the fraud, and transparency is ensured within the system. No data manipulating, all this is it's not going to happen. And it can handle any type of workflows, automation, and it can execute any complex scenarios quickly, effectively, and can do multitasking. One digital workforce trained to do finance, procurement, HR, operation department, scheduling, capacity planning, customer inquiry, but human cannot do. Once the people are trained one particular domain, let's say I'm the finance guy, I don't know anything what is happening on operation. If you put me something in HR, I don't know how to calculate the performance appraisal or anything because I'm a finance guy. But this digital workforce, if you train, whatever you program can mimic, it can do anything. So by doing all this, definitely there is a productivity improvement, and the return of investment for all this ROI is less than 6 months. We all know, like any project we propose, it's supposed to be 3 years minimum ROI, but the bots, they bring you less than 6 months. It all depends on what process you are picking up, and it give very lower TCO, total cost of ownership. And we did some assessment and we managed to get like 25 to 80% cost saving. Depends on the process where you are deploying the digital workforce. And these are the testimonials from the big companies, Forrester, Deloitte, and all this. So you see, like some says there is a major cost saving by adopting this one. Some say is a greater resilience, and some say the accuracy improved 57%. And some people say there is a happier employer, almost like 57% of the, even it is assisting the employees. They don't want to do all the Monday job, like every day I'm just sitting and doing the routine thing. Leave it to your assistant, your robo will do. You think about more analytical and then business oriented, how to help the company for the profitability, all this more knowledging area, people has to think about it. And 68% of the productivity already improved, and the performance, the compliances, like 92% agree already. It's not by us, it's by the Deloitte. Okay, and this is the final roadmap. We all know, like in 1990s, the technology revolution came into the picture. Earlier, people were using a lot of decentralized system. Some using like Tally. Some, I don't know, Tally was there during the time, but they use some sort of a accounting system, operational separate, warehouse separate, procurement separate. All decentralized system was there early 1990. Then they come up with the concept like MRP, material requirement planning. So they combine that MRP and they form the new concept called the ERP. We all know, like 90 in India, it's 90 is a bit popular, but world around that time only, like a lot of people come to that single integrated platform. They thought, like, by going with the ERP system, like single integrated platform, I can do one-time data entry. Previously, they take one data and then key into the other system, and then take that data to the other system. So that's a lot of time consuming. So now with the ERP is a one single data entry. Let's say I'm the person, just create a quotation, then the quotation information of that particular customer, then the material, and then item, quantity, price, everything automatically convert into the order. And then order is going into the delivery order. or maybe it is going to the production, means that information going to the production. Then production do the production order. Then they do, the goods back to the warehouse. Then warehouse guy will go and pick it up, then do the packing. Then they do the post goods issue. Then the finance will do the invoicing. Then there is a bank reconciliation after collection of payment. All the way, there won't be any data entry. Only one data entry at the quotation. So that's the way the ERP has given some sort of a productivity improvement, because it's a single integrated system. So the data's flowing around all the system. And after 3 decades, now 2020, it is mandatory for the company to put one more layer on top of it, which we call it as a intelligent layer. This intelligent layer need to identify where and all the manual task, the repeated task available, why we need a human. But we can put the digital workforce, and this workforce can do like 20 times, 50 times faster than human. Why not we adopt it? That's what all this robotic process automation, and along with the cognitive is nothing like we have the cognitive product, which based on my voice, there is a recognition. It can do some transaction. Let's say I'm a CEO, I can ask what is my sales in, I just open up my bot and just ask like what is my sales in India. It will tell you like this is today is your sales, and what is your purchases, what is your warehouse stock, everything based on my voice recognition. So all this combination is already into the picture. Then augmentation reality, virtual reality, AI, machine learning, all this is now the technology. It is mandatory for the companies. They cannot run only with the ERP or CRM anymore. You should have one intelligent layer on top of it. That's what Glosap is coming to the picture. We are helping all the companies how to lay the intelligent layer, how to improve your productivity, how to choose the business process. Right. So now this is the time for the company to think about, okay, change. It's not like just listening and then, okay, let me think about it and all this, because it is mandatory. In 2022, the research is telling almost 4 million robots are going to run throughout the world. They are going to take care of office and administrative tasks. Okay. And second thing, if the competitors started deploying, already all the banks, insurance company, public sector company already started deploying globally. The India has a huge potential because India is still running around with the manual documentation and all this. And as a partner for the Industry 4.0, we are educating all the companies, the big companies, SMEs, MSMEs. Please convert all your work process into digital. Digitalization is that's the first step of your Industry 4.0. So, and then based on that digital form, we can bring any insight, because once it move into the digital, there is a data. From the data, we can bring any insight. So that insight will help the company to take the policy decision or any purchase or whatever the thing is. It's very useful for them. Okay, don't delay all this. Like all the CEO, CFO, they should think about it. Not only the large organization, even the small organization with a few manpower, you should think about it, how to digitalize my process by adopting one or two digital workforce. Right. So let me end up my presentation. Let me run one more video. Just give me a second. Sir, it's loading. Just give me a second.
Pace at which technologies are being adopted within industries and market around the world, it is important for companies, especially for small to medium enterprises, to maximize their productivity and efficiency so as to not fall back in the cutthroat competition to establish prominence in their respective industries. Glosap Consulting Group is the name that answers to a wide range of business questions and bottlenecks. Established in the year 2006, Glosap Group has its headquarters at Singapore and expanded its operations in Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand, Thailand, Germany, USA and UAE. A well-functioning offshore back office and center of excellence with around 200 plus resources were established in Chennai and Hyderabad. Glosap is an enterprise software solution provider offering SAP and Microsoft services and products such as enterprise resource planning, customer relationship management, SAP analytics, intelligent technologies, IoT, blockchain, artificial intelligence and RPA and RaaS solutions. As a leading AI-based RPA and RaaS service providers across the globe, our sole focus is to help clients get the best possible returns on their IT investments. Glosap's clients are rest assured that they will always receive latest knowledge and developments, enabling them to be well informed about how it can aid their company's development. Many people often ask about the difference between robotic process automation (RPA) and artificial intelligence (AI). Some even confused the two to be the same. RPA is a software robot that mimics human actions, whereas AI is the simulation of human intelligence by machines. RPA refers to the use of a pre-configured software instance that uses business rules and predefined activity choreography to complete the autonomous execution of a combination of processes, activities, transactions, and tasks in one or more unrelated software systems to deliver a result or service with human exception management. And AI is the combination of cognitive automation, machine learning, reasoning, natural language processing, hypothesis generation and analysis, and intentional algorithm mutation producing insights and analytics at or above human capability. On the most fundamental level, RPA is associated with doing, whereas AI and ML is concerned with thinking and learning respectively. Or brawn, that is muscle, versus brains if you like. We help companies to benefit from both technologies by using an all-in-one platform to automate end-to-end processes and easily exploit the value of intelligent functionalities. When our clients use our RPA effectively, we have seen average handling times reduced up to 40% and processing costs that could be up to 80% lower. RaaS, Robots as a Service, is a unique model which is a combination of cloud computing, AI, robotics, and shared services. With RaaS, clients don't really need to buy an integrated solution. Instead, they can lease the robotic devices as a cloud-based service. The most essential benefit of Glosap's RaaS is that end users can now shift their capital expenditure to an operational expenditure, allowing them to deploy solutions without large upfront costs. Other benefits are improved productivity at minimal costs, enables a smarter business network, focus employees on high-value tasks, cost sharing between companies, flexible and scalable solution model, choice between pay per use and fixed prices. The key advantage of using an RPA and AI solution is to achieve straight-through processing with minimal human intervention, improve quality and delivering error-free results. With our decades of experience, we have developed many AI and RPA ready-made plug-in type bots for multiple enterprise and industry-specific applications for easy deployment for realizing quick ROI for our clients. For further details, contact our representatives.
Sir, with this, let me hand over the session to Jivan. Jivan, just give me a second. Let me give a screen.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
For demo purposes, this can also be done in any existing client.
PO transaction.
Okay. Jivan, can you take the screen?
Yeah, can you just run the slides? Yeah, thank you.
Yes, yeah.
And I think after this, right, there's one more slide.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. As all of you have seen, very insightful of our materials and also the demo. I would like to have a note on this. Whatever you saw just now when we present, both of us we were presenting, it's very much coming from the real life experience. We have actually, over the 4 years, we have gathered all the experiences. We have actually implemented the robo, and through that, various implementation with across the industries, because every industry has its own challenges, and also their process, the domain process of a particular industry differ from another industry. Say, for example, from manufacturing to banking or insurance and so forth, it's very different. So with that experiences, we have actually, whatever we have shared, the material and the knowledge is purely coming from the actual scenario. Yeah. So with that, just a small, quick brief about the company. When Babu started in 2006, he always had a vision of bringing the solution where it can enable our client businesses. It is not about we build something nice to have or fun to have, but it's have to be practical, and it really need to be implemented, and the client need to see the benefit of that. Okay, with that, we have a big group of team, leadership under Babu, where many of us are from various background. We have consulting background, we have technology, we have ERP background, we have cyber security, and so forth. So name a few of them in the chart. If you can see, Andreas actually sits in Germany with Babu and a few others. They have Harish and so on, very much from the ERP space. And William, Dr. Hewley, and myself are very much focusing on the Malaysian market, where most of us are from consulting background with Humayun and so forth. And Sham being our one of the very senior person, our ex-senior person in IBM, who actually on board with us, helping to run the blockchain businesses as well. So with this combination, together with Dr. Upli, who is also a very global man, and on top of this, a group of leadership, we also have some good mentorship, mentors and advisory panel who actually constantly giving us the input from the industry perspective, from the academic perspective, and see how we can further, or even from the government perspective, look into all the ways and means to bring technology or digitalize the businesses and government agencies, so that the productivity and efficiency has been increased. Yeah, so that has always been our motto, and our presence are in 9 countries, and we are growing. As I mentioned just now, during the crisis time, that is where we come out of the box and we start thinking about what to do the next and what else we can contribute to the nation. And we have a huge pool of expertise with not only the technology perspective, it's also from the consulting and the industry domain. People are from public sector, private sector, and certain specific industries and so forth. So we have done more than 100 over projects. So as I mentioned just now, what you have seen, it is all from the projects we convert into a knowledge-based experience, and we are sharing it today. And this is where our roadmaps are, where we started and where we expand, and where we are heading towards. So we are glad that during this pandemic, we also, started our UAE and Oman offices, where a lot of, consulting work and RPA with AI, with some collaboration with, some of the academician and also the industry leaders. Yeah. Some of our, aggressive participant in each countries, where I think Babu is, he resides in Singapore. So these are the events that we participated in Singapore with Singapore government. Not only participating in the event, we also, work with our panel SMEs and also experts to come up with some thought leadership papers and share our experiences. So one of the most prominent, I'm quite sure a lot of you has heard about Dr. P. Shekhar and Rajesh and so forth. Of course, together with Professor Moni, we have a lot of, with his team, we have a lot of plans and, uh, you know, uh, contribute back to the nation. Yeah, we always feel that whatever we gain, we have to contribute back to the nation and the development of the nation. Yeah. So we are proud to say we are UiPath Gold Partner in a very short span time. We have attained that by helping a lot of our clients to automate their processes. And as I mentioned earlier, our background is very much started from ERP. So we are very strong SAP, Microsoft partners. We are also Azure and AWS cloud partners as well, together with the Blue Prism and Automation Anywhere. All these are platforms and technologies that enable us to help the full range of client. And our clients are not necessarily in one particular domain, across the domain, from manufacturing, oil and gas, banking, insurance, and so forth. So we have a rich pool of domain expertise and also the templates that we have actually so far we have built along the journey of the entire company history. So with that, I think we are almost towards the tail end of the presentation. And about us, our officers, our details are there. So feel free, to contact us as and when you need any additional information about automating your organization or empowering yourself, so that you can actually contribute back to your company or the nation. Yeah. So with that, I pass back over to Professor Moni for any Q&A session.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jivan Muttupillai and Mr. Venkatesh Babu, for a very, I can say that idea-based, operational issues-based, and benefits-based, and technology-based talk with case studies. During the last 2 hours, we had this discussion. It is very wonderful, and it also gave an idea for many youths, engineering graduates and science graduates, to get into this process. And this is you have motivated, as I rightly said it, that before I invited for both of you to talk, that talk will galvanize the participants to get into this idea and to undertake establishment of startups in various process. And today you have said it very, very nicely with your examples. It is not merely based on some PowerPoint presentation. And you also, let me, briefly summarize that. One is that you have given a complete technology roadmap. What is to be done? And how you yourself, after having 25 years of experience, now you with the private sector, how you initiated this company in 2006, and how you brought it out, developed a roadmap for development of products and services, and expanding to the global scenario. And I liked your mission, creating deeper scientific knowledge and technology, knowledge-based scientific knowledge and technology for a better life tomorrow. And today we have a lot of problems, challenges, and opportunities. The challenges are there, but we have to convert these challenges as opportunities. COVID-19 pandemic situation has created a lot of challenges, which also has created opportunities. And I'm very happy that, even though I quoted in my talk that one of the earlier talk, on how to undertake digital transformation of small and medium businesses and small and medium enterprises. Mr. R.K. Jayabalan himself is an industrialist. He is an IT industry, developer. He was having an industry in Madurai, and he was also, chairman of a tiny industries. And during the COVID situation, they have conducted a study in collaboration with IIT Madras on the situations of a lot of tiny industries and small scale industries in Tamil Nadu. So that report made the part of his talk on 19th June 2021. And during his talk, Dr. Jababale Vinancha Arachi was the former principal advisor to the Director General UNIDO. He was listening, and he asked me to intervene, and I asked him to intervene, and he participated, and a lot of healthy discussion took place. And some of the things which I listed out, that what the stakeholders of the small scale industries wanted. Now, without the digitalization, without the digital transformation of SMEs, it is very difficult to meet the requirements of stakeholders. If you are not able to meet the requirements of the stakeholder better and faster, and if these two superlative terms we are not able to meet it, I think industry will not be in a position to survive. So I talked about digital SMEs in 2005 when I was invited to deliver a talk in Madras Institute of Technology. I told them that the country has got about 3,500 SME clusters, urban clusters of SMEs, 18,000 rural cluster of SMEs. Why can't MIT take one cluster and convert to the extent possible digitalized? I gave the title Digital SMEs. Today is 2021, and German identified or brought out the technology in 2010, Industry 4.0. India talks about 2.0. Now global world is talking about Industry 5.0, and now they talk about digital twine. And where are we? See, all these technologies cannot be stopped with the events, generations. The FICCIs and the CIIs and ASSOCHAMs and other people can have events. So when in a meeting, I was told, and I was asked in the Heavy Industries Department of the Government of India, that Professor Moni, your brochure from the university, from the Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies, you put that training of CEOs of SMEs. I told him that I'm not inclined to spend my time with the large scale industries because they have enough money, investment, capital, everything. But the SMEs, where will they go? They have now, the number is coming out is 63 million small scale industries in the country. And if you would like to take on, if you would like to compete with India, China, that I have been talking and as a technocrat from 1985 onwards, with involved in 512 districts computerization, 95 with IT blueprint for agriculture, now converting as an agriculture informatics discipline to train all agriculture graduates and so on and so forth, which is proved, COVID situation proved that agriculture is a panacea. It can make India, stand up. And so the thing is that, unless the SMEs are digitalized, health, agriculture, industries, these three sectors are not digitalized in India. It means that if it is digitalized, it will bring in Indian digital rural economy. If the rural economy is digitalized, agriculture, industry, and health, I think that we can compete with China, because China has achieved digitalization of rural economy.
Yes, sir.
Which I put the seed in 2004-5, and then still I am alive. Now I thought that's why in the Soviet Institute of Engineering Technology we have the Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application. Thank you very much, Mr. Babu and Mr. Jivan, for participating in this program on the International Webinar Series on Open Source Digital Technologies for Self-Reliant India. We welcome you to the university to get associated, bring global experience, and the the youngsters, rural youths, and through these centers of excellence of the Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology, can get lot of motivations and to work with your partners. And I will request you to join with university, bring in industrial experience. And both in India is a big country to work on digitalization of many sectors, which I was the part of that process. Now through the university, I'm now trying to bring in all the stakeholders together. So this is why that's where the 5 centers of excellence have been established in the university, and I'll be very happy that if your industry can participate and join with us in this journey. And digitalization is very important, and the roadmap which you put it is very important. And I'm very happy for hosting and moderating the talk by both of you, and I hope that all the participants who got benefit out of this from this talk, and today's just for today's talk, and whenever you are in India, please do visit the university. Definitely. And we also launched an MBA program on Industry 4.0 to train SMEs of the CEOs of SMEs.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And a lot of pilot projects can be taken up. And with your technology, which your services, that it can be taken up through the university and through the centers of excellence in India in a very effective manner. With this, I thank you, and also I thank the Honorable Chancellor of the Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology and His Excellency African Asian Rural Development Organization (ARDO), New Delhi, for facilitating us to conduct this international webinar series on open source digital technology for self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you very much. With this, we close the webinar and studio. Thanks for your participation and greeting from Soviet University.
Thank you, sir.
Soviet University, and for more research and inquiry, please write to Professor Moni Madaswamy, Professor Emeritus and Chairman, CIDSA and CITSA, and former Director General, National Informatics Center, Government of India, New Delhi. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.